All right, another great song from the Veldt. That is Angel Heart. Let's see if we've got, I think we've got Danny on the line with us. Danny, are you there?
Yeah, hey, how you doing, man?
Hey, good. Yeah, sorry I don't know what was happening. It was like we were trying to connect with you before and the line kept dropping. But so I'm relieved that we get to talk to you because I'd never really listened to much of the Veldt, and I've been listening to your music, and I really love it, especially the new single, Black Girl. And but you guys have been around a long time.
Oh man, today will mark the 60th year, man. You know.
Oh my God, that's that's incredible. So you guys, now now you and your brother Daniel, you guys are twins. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're twins. Yeah.
So your parents actually chose to name you Danny and Daniel.
Well, my aunt's named us. I still think that it's a different name, but I've been, conditioned to be that way since birth. So,
oh, I gotcha.
except he's Christopher and I'm Cornelius in the middle names.
Oh, interesting. Okay, because when I was reading about you guys, I was trying to figure out now who would do that to their to their twin sons.
I know. We've been getting that a lot.
I can imagine. No, it's cool though. So you guys, when you released the new single, which we did feature at the top of the show, Black Girl, is this like the first song after how many years? Because again, you guys have been around for, as you said, a very, very long time, longer than I realized. Yeah. But has it been a while?
No, I mean, when I said 60, we just turned 60 today.
Gotcha. Okay, so literally you guys, but you probably started making music at a very young age, I would imagine.
Yeah, 1986, 85, something like that.
Okay.
We started in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and we, the Triangle area was a good place for like hardcore music and punk rock, and they had a little scene over here. And our first show was with the band called Courage and Conformity. We had it was like a kids matinees, things like that. But they don't really do that anymore, like that we know of, kind of thing. But
right,
so we came from that kind of era, scene back in the day, opening for Courage and Conformity, like I said. So
oh wow,
and we just didn't know we just didn't get the memo that it was time to stop. So
no, I'm glad you're still going. Now, when was the last time you released something prior to Black Girl?
We released something on this label called Little Cloud called Entropy is the Main Line to God, which we did during the pandemic and whatnot.
Okay.
And it was a bunch of songs that we had been writing during that time. So that was like the latest thing that we did. But before that, we released something called Shocking Fuzz of Electric Fur, which came out like 2014, something like that.
Okay.
2016, something. Right before I toured the Brown Jonestown Massacre.
Oh wow! Okay, excellent. So yeah. Can you talk about the song? And again, we'll play it at the end of our conversation for anyone who missed it. I really like it. It's very. I mean, the first word. This might sound cliche, but the first word that comes to my mind is atmospheric. But can you tell us about the song and its connection to? Is it connected to the 1972 film Black Girl? If I understand correctly.
Yes, exactly. Yes, it is. Yeah. It was like we had seen it back in the day, and we thought, what would be a good idea to have a kind of like a Cocteau Twins kind of sounding soul song like that, in which we kind of like, like that kind of vibe, like some of these sounds and things like that we get from what we used to call the Quiet Storm on Black radio, kind of like it was the R&B moment, and it was always on late night. Like most of the black college stations played stuff like that, Anita Baker, Luther Vandross, and the theme was "Welcome to the Quiet Storm." And then, so we heard the song "Black Girl," and we thought it might be a good way to, that kind of like replicate that kind of sound,
Mm-hmm.
Like kind of more like a so-called shoegaze sound.
Okay.
And I say shoegaze because the term came out a long time ago before it was called, alternative. Something like that, space rock, or what you want to call it. But the term shoegaze, I put it lightly because because everything's shoegaze now. So but a long time ago you couldn't give it away. But the song is a screenplay by Ossie Davis about a young black girl whose cousin comes home from college, and she's up against the neighborhood telling her that she can't do what she wants to do, and it's kind of like reflective about how we came up, kind of like, you grew up in a black neighborhood, you tell people you're playing music, they're like, you need to get a real job, so and so and so, and you're never going to make it,
Mm-hmm.
So it's about a young girl who wants to go to college and be a ballerina. And, her peers don't really believe in it, but it's just another example of how you have to keep going,
Mm-hmm.
Despite your environment, But, yeah, man, we made it kind of an ethereal kind of song.
Okay.
So,
yeah, no, I really like it. Yeah. No, it's really good. And it's interesting, too, because you mentioned being inspired by, some of what you would hear on college radio. And that really popped out to me because I'm a big, anyone who knows me knows I'm a big purveyor and fan of college radio. And you hear things on college radio
definitely.
that you don't hear in the mainstream. And I find that a lot of, a lot of bands that or solo artists who have a sound that is unusual that you don't typically hear in commercial radio, it's very often a product of that person being inspired, from a young age by what they would hear on college radio.
Oh, college radio has been supportive to us back in the day too, man.
Mm-hmm.
Which was really cool because no one else will play our stuff or either like even acknowledge that we even existed, man.
Yeah.
The gatekeepers, the racial stuff, man. It's like there was always a big part of why we haven't been out because we've run into so many obstacles, but that didn't really stop us though because we always thought that the music would prevail and ironically it did prevail. So despite all the racial stuff and whatnot,
Absolutely.
We just came off the tour with the Chameleons, and there's a lot of love out there, man, in the United States. I think the press and the media kind of ruins the idea about how America is a hateful place to be, but I can't really say that because we got so much respect and love from people in the crowds when we came to play with the Chameleons. They people who love the Cocktail Twins and love the so-called shoegaze bands like Slow Dive, My Buddy Valentine. We were all around at the same time. People always ask me, "Are you influenced by these bands?" I have to say no because they came out at the same time as we did.
They're your peers.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to say you're influenced by somebody when you were both out at the same time. But I'm influenced by them in the fact that we like the same music or whatever else, but we definitely come from different kind of backgrounds.
Right.
So, but I can appreciate any band. I think anybody that plays music has to have an audience, no matter what kind of music you do. So I'm never really prejudiced to that kind of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Especially coming back from our background. Being in church and soul music and stuff like that.
Absolutely. I'm really curious too to ask you about this this EP. Tell me if I'm saying this right. Spanakopita?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
It's a spinach and cheese kind of food.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's a playoff of Slow Dive's Slovakia Space Station kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Now, so this was a tour exclusive. Is that correct? You could only get this at your live shows?
Yeah. I mean, we wanted to do it like that because we have a record coming out in September called White Noise Supremacy.
Okay.
And we're going to have like some of the tracks from this EP on that.
Oh.
So we kind of wanted to make, I think we might put it up for sale online at some point, But other than that, we've been working on a new record for that. But yeah, this is a tour only kind of CD.
I like that concept because it has tracks from the next record. You're kind of giving the the fans who obviously are invested enough in what you're doing, that they're going to come and see you live. Those are the fans that you want to give kind of a sneak peek of because those are the real diehards, right? Those are the ones that you want to give them a sneak peek of what's to come. Yeah, that's a great concept.
Definitely, man. And to my surprise, they really are out there, man. I mean, yeah, I have to reiterate that, man. There's so much great people out there, man, and it's like really good to see them come and enjoy what you do. You know what I'm saying? It's like it always any kind of monetary feeling that I've ever had, because at the end of the day, it's like, people come out and they like your music. It's like leaving with $1 million. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The money. Don't get me wrong. Money would help, but I'm just saying, as far as the appreciation is concerned, it's like a really eye-opening thing. And also the age of the people, like they're like really young, man. They're like they're liking this stuff. And I'm like, man, I wish you guys were around a long time ago, you know?
Right. I'm curious too to ask you about some of the collaboration on the EP. I've seen some names: Carlos Bess, Will Brooks, Jason Furlow.
Will Brooks. Yeah, well, Will Brooks is a guy named, he's called Delic.
Okay.
And he's like a kind of alternative kind of hip hop kind of MC.
Gotcha.
You know, he uses static and feedback and stuff like that in his raps, like, you know, in his programming. And we always thought that, like, you know, from Robin Guthrie playing on this song called Lorelei, that it had the beat was in it and the guitars in it. So Will does it already. He also noted that element of distortion and feedback was always in hip hop some way.
Right.
Like, say for example, Irby and Rakim's Lyrics of Fury. There's like this bunch of static and feedback in the background, and you're thinking to yourself, man, that was louder. That would be kind of hot, right? So he took our stuff and like made it more like that, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what that came out like with a song called Evergreen. And then Jason Furlow and Carlos Bess worked on the track that we did called Dakini. Jason Furlow used to be in this band called A New Kingdom.
Oh,
and,
okay.
He's in a band now called what is it called, Daniel? Hold on. Let me. Look, Wave Generators. Sorry,
oh,
Wave
okay.
Generators.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
And he's in Wave Generators, and he did that production on that with Carlos Bess. Carlos Bess is he's one of the engineers for Wu-Tang Clan, and I was doing some session work for Wu-Tang back in the day, and I played on like a couple of tracks that Ghostface did.
Oh, you did?
Ghostface Killer.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, this song called Shay Shay Let Go. She can't really hear the guitar in it, but I played like a little background in it.
Yeah.
At the 36 Chambers studio, Wu-Tang studio back in the day.
Oh, okay.
And this guy named Spinforth from a band called Yak Fu Front, this DJ, he made the track for Black Girl.
Gotcha.
And so we've been keeping kind of close to that kind of feeling,
mm-hmm.
you know. But we also have a couple of tracks coming up from the guy that produced the latest Chameleons record too, Christoph B.
Okay.
You know, more or less of a band kind of that sound.
Okay.
And Todd Demma from the Chameleons plays drums on some of those things. We don't really have a drummer at this point. We use a lot of programming.
Right. Is that Hayato Nakao? Is am I saying that correctly? Does he do the?
Yeah, Hayato Nakao does most of the programming for us.
Gotcha.
In the band. He plays bass and he plays guitar on a lot of stuff. But he's a guy that works on most of the stuff with us, right? Writes with us too. But the EP always starts off with production stuff with him first. So.
Oh, okay. Is it important to you guys to work with a lot of different people? Because over the years, obviously, again, you've been around a long time. It sounds like you've worked with quite a few, you've collaborated with quite a few different people over the years, and I would imagine, everyone you work with brings in their own ideas and their own influence. And I assume because I went back and listened to, there's a lot of your stuff is on Bandcamp. And I was going back and listening to a lot of it, and it really runs the gamut in terms of, you call it shoegaze, but you hear a lot of other influences in these different songs that some of them are very different than everything else. So it sounds like you've really worked with a lot of different people.
I like a lot of stuff that we're doing now because back in the day we were always kind of like told what not to do kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Like, this whole concept of working with DJs isn't a new idea, but even when we were on in 1989, 88, we always wanted to work with DJs because, the beats and things were always natural to us. But people always say, "Oh, it's too many styles, and no one's going to like it," and all this kind of stuff like that. Man, we feel a little bit more liberated these days than we did back then because working in a band kind of like format, like bass, drums, guitar, and going into a place and writing together is not the way we do things anymore. So
right.
But, the production value is more or less what we do now. That we like. Kind of like with Massive Attack,
Mm-hmm.
I played guitar on Massive Attack's 400th Window.
Oh, no kidding.
My friend Liz Frazier from the Cocktail Twins got me that job.
Oh, wow.
So I played some incidental guitars on that record, and they work the same way with the engineer. So if you have a great engineer, you have some ideas together, you can come up with a lot of stuff. Such as the way, like, Lincoln Fong did with Robin. He's his main sound guy and studio person. Lincoln Fong was the one that did all the production for all the 4AD bands.
Oh, okay.
From Wolfgang Press to Lush to the Cocktail Twins live sound.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
He did all that stuff, Pale Saints, and he did all the production work on that, for 4AD back in the day.
Okay.
So we had a little bit of that in us too, as far as sound and music is concerned, because that's where our roots come plenty from that.
Yeah.
Having recorded with Robin Guthrie at that time.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now the new album. So when is it? Do you have an ETA on when it's going to be out?
September.
September. Okay. Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah. September.
How many songs are going to be on it, or do you know that yet? I mean, is it all done at this point, or is it ready to go? Is it?
We got a couple of. There's so many songs we have, man. We have like at least 4 or 5 records in us. Even more than that, songs that we got that we never did really put out, and also the new stuff is just like just developing as we go. But we don't always have the capacity to get it out right now financially. But we're working with a small label called Little Cloud.
Okay,
and that helping us get put out a few things here and there. So
Oh, excellent.
We got a lot of songs, man, a lot of stuff.
I'm curious to ask you about this too. So a little geography question. So you guys you're currently in North Carolina, correct?
Well, we're between New York and North Carolina. My mom lives in North Carolina.
Okay.
She's getting up in age and whatnot, and so I go back and forth to New York because I have to watch her sometimes.
Oh, okay. That's what I was curious about. Yeah, because I kept seeing North Carolina show up when I was reading about you guys.
Raleigh. Chapel Hill.
Okay. Oh, well, that's a nice area. I've been through there. That's a nice place. But obviously, I assume so. You must be spending a lot of time in New York, like you said, though, right?
Not really. I do. I'm going next week because my apartment's there.
Yeah.
But I stay part time with my brother sometimes.
Oh.
The studios here, our little studios here in his apartment. So
Yeah.
we do most of the production. It's ironic that after the pandemic, we started to get really, really busy. A little bit even like before that, we were on, like I said, toward the Brian Jonestown Massacre, Modern English, and we did a couple of other spot dates here and there. And that was really a good experience for us. And then after the pandemic, people were hungry for music and being out, and we were really, really busy, man.
Yeah.
From then on,
Yeah.
So
that's great.
We can't really complain, but it's been nice, man. It's nice to play music. That's what I like to do.
Absolutely. And by the way, too, for people who aren't familiar, and I'm learning a lot about you guys, but for people who aren't familiar with the Veldt, I was looking at this. You guys are Aphrodisiac is included in Pitchfork's list of one of the top 50 shoegaze albums ever released. That's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Wow,
Aphrodisiac.
okay.
Yeah.
Pitchfork.
Yeah, Pitchfork. Yeah, one of the top 50 shoegaze albums. That's amazing. And then, can you tell me about too? Because I was listening to this on Bandcamp. The album Illuminated 1989. Is this old songs that were remastered or?
Oh man, it's a really old record that we did with Robin Guthrie that was never released.
Okay.
We in 1989 we went to England to work with the Cocktail Twins.
Yeah.
And that record was shelved by Capitol, and we had been trying to get it out since 1989.
Wow.
Trying to get it out, man. And we ran into so many walls, and we just said, you know what? Let's just put it out. Any kind of press we get from anybody else will be amazing. Look, I can see the headline now. Black band takes record back from record company. They'll make it a good headline. When is there any black musician taking anything from anybody?
Well, what's interesting too is what a lot of people don't know is because people outside of the industry think that, you get signed to a record label and everything's great and and now you're going to be rich and famous and all of that. But there are pitfalls, and one of them is they can just decide. You could record an entire album, and they could just decide not to release it, and then you've got to go through and like you said, to finally get it out. That's a big hassle, and it took many years.
It took so many years, man. Somebody was always pregnant, or somebody was on vacation, or somebody went to another job, and we just said, you know what, dude, just put this out. Let them come after me. I don't have anything anyway. It's a parent. I don't have anything. yeah, because I'm doing this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, put the music out there, man. You know, and that's all we did.
Right.
So Robin gave us the masters. Robin Veldt gave us the masters to do it.
Okay.
And we made it, illuminated 1989, because it sets a standpoint of which, when that music came out, that we really were there. We toured with the Cocktail Twins.
Yeah.
We toured with the Jesus and Mary Chain. We opened up for a Lush, the Saints, Thorn Muses. We did all these things, man. But because people are so hung up on what color we are, some of that does not even come out, because people are really, really stupid and ignorant, and we just had to ignore all that, because the music, I felt at the time, was actually timeless, because I felt like that it was just beginning to get going. Mm-hmm. For example, when we toured with Seafield, that was really a good exposure, because they've been there like us, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The music stood the test of time, and I felt that we were the music of the future, so to speak.
Right.
Because I think the music had like that kind of vibe and passion that was beginning to develop more, electronically. So, but since we are who we are, no one took us seriously. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, when people see me now, they're like, "Oh man, you guys are really living your dream, so and so." And I'm like, "What the f*** you think I was going to do when I was at the bar and I told you I'm a musician? You think I was joking with you?"
Right. Right. Exactly.
It's like me telling you, like, "Hey man, I used to be ashamed of what I did, man, because of the connotations of being a poor musician. Not only that, a black one at that. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really the easiest lifestyle, so to speak. I mean, you lose people along the way because they don't see what you want to do. That you can't make them live your dream for you, because not everybody's really built for that kind of thing.
Right.
But in the interim, now everything is all shoegaze. Now, some people acknowledge us, some people don't. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, but I can say, if I was in a room with some people, okay, you're not a real shoegaze band. I raise my hand and say, "Who here has toured the Cocktail Twins? Raise your hand." And I'll be like, "Okay, I rest my case." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I have to go to that kind of thing. Like, for example, the Jesus and Mary Chain did a remix for us, Soul in the Jar, back in 1994, 95. Mm-hmm. And I went to go see them. And actually, I did an interview with Brooklyn Vegan saying that we would like to play with them again in the future, because they were obviously about to come back out to do something, right?
Yeah.
So their president manager went on the Brooklyn Vegan and said, "Well, you guys are lying. Your attempt at getting some kind of publicity is going to fail." And I said, "Here's the remix, 1994, the drugstore mix." Mm-hmm. And he was like, "They don't remember you." I said, "They don't remember me." How many black people had you played with? Right. I had to say something like that. You know what I'm saying? And then he shut the up.
Oh.
Like that, man. It's just man.
Well, very good. Yeah. No, I like I said, I mean, I've learned a lot about you guys just as I was prepping for the show, and I really like what you're doing. Really good stuff. And
thanks, man. It's like kind of like Arthur Lee in Love, kind of.
And music kind of one of the great things about music is it transcends everything. Color and class and all of it. And I think that
I've seen it.
Absolutely,
I've seen it, man. I've seen it.
Absolutely, 100%, 100%.
Yeah, man. I this tour of the Chameleons, man. I saw it work.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. That's why I want to keep doing it, because I saw how it touches people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't mean to sound cheesy or anything like that, but it supersedes anything and any criticism, because I visually saw how our music moves people and how people like it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And how, there's no words for how beautiful it is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the guy from the Chameleons, Vox, he's one of our biggest supporters, man. God bless his soul. You know?
Yeah. Oh, that's excellent. Now that tour is completed, correct?
Yes. About 2 weeks ago.
Okay. And do you have plans to go back out on the road, or are you kind of focused on the album right now?
We're focused on the album right now, and there might be like a UK tour or something like that.
Oh, interesting.
Some spot dates here and there.
Okay. Okay. Very cool. Well, Danny, this has been wonderful. This has been wonderful. I'm really glad you were able to join us this morning, and I'm glad we got the phone. Yeah. We got the phone situation figured out and everything. And we are going to play at the end of our conversation. I'm going to hit that track again, "Black Girl," for anyone who missed it. Really, really good. Of course, brand new from the Veldt. People can find it on Bandcamp. And by the way, I'm glad you guys have everything on Bandcamp. I'm a big I'm a big fan of Bandcamp because what a lot of people don't realize is if you stream something on Bandcamp, or better yet, if you buy the music and download it from Bandcamp, you get a better quality file than you do from, say, if you just stream it on YouTube or something like that. So I really encourage people to use Bandcamp, and the way they pay the artists is fair and everything. It's better than better to use Bandcamp than something like Spotify. Nothing against it, but Bandcamp is the way to go. So I'm glad you guys are on there, and I encourage everyone to check you out there.
It's really great because I got a check for $68 from Spotify, so you kind of you hit it on the head. So
right,
But look, but we appreciate the support, man. We really do. So if you ever need anything, just let us know. We'll send it to you.
Absolutely. All right, Danny from the Veldt, thank you so much, my friend, and I'm sure we'll talk again when it's time for the album to come out. We'll definitely have you back on.
No doubt, man. Please call me.
All right, you got it, brother. All right, take care. Thanks, man.
Peace, man. Later.
Right, bye-bye. All right, that was Danny from the Veldt, and we're going to play this again if you missed it at the top of the show. This is called Brand New from the Veldt. Oh, and I should tell people, too, for anyone who's looking up the Veldt, if you have any trouble finding, because the way that the Veldt is spelled, I should have asked him where the name comes from. Totally didn't think of it, but Veldt. That is how you spell the Veldt. Veldt. And this is called Black Girl. This is inspired by the 1972 film of the same name. But this is really, like I said, atmospheric is the word that I would use to describe this, as cliche as that might sound. But it's interesting. You can kind of just close your eyes and get lost in it. This is called Black Girl, and this is the Veldt.